If this random music doesn't get you in the mood for RTCW, nothing will. Probably not the best choice we ever made. 3 players left to ready up. It's MP versus LLD. MP coming to this as the favorites. Definitely check out the link that Homie just put in chat. You'll see the last second dock run that got LLD here. Possibly the most intense finish to a game ever. But hey, worth checking out. So, who do we have up for this one? Names that I remember from this, definitely Jam, Toxic, of course, Chris from the MP side, and then, not gonna lie, many of these names on the LLD side are new to me. But hey, maybe they just went to a shop and bought their copy of RTCW yesterday. You never know. I'm sure there are still many shops stocking physical games. You know, I had the limited edition RTCW one, and I lost the tin. I was pretty mad about that. You know that little silver tin that you got the RTCW in? You could buy the regular one, which was the plastic tin that the CD came in, or you could get the regular, or you could get the silver tin. I was pissed off to have lost that. I do still have. Not that I think the server's even call for it anymore. I do still have. I'm going to open it right now. My art. Oh, not even going to bother. Let's go. It was pointless nostalgia. Let's jump on in as we're about to start with MP versus LLD. This is going to be the last game of the day. It's the second semi-final. It's for the right to face LLC in the QuakeCon from Home Grand Final 2020. And we start on Village. One of map villages. Chris's grenade greets Zed as the opening frag of the map. Doza responds in kind with his Thompson as the LLD side try to make their way through, but decide better of it. Is that a distractionary tactic or diversionary tactic? What are they doing? Yes, they are. They're going to double back and they're going to go short, and they will see if they can make their way through the Axis spawn as a first push. On board with Canhank. BRND, which I believe is Bernard, has the Panzer. They're going to try and wield him into position. Oh! As Chris goes through, almost broke my voice there. Chris goes in and gets him, and Toxic now will be forced to go back to the crypt. There are a bunch of ally players over here. Toxic and that Panzer connect onto Canhank, and he will go down. Also, kind of shocked to see Toxic with a 50 ping. Don't think I've ever seen him with a good ping. He could be a very dangerous player now, if he wasn't already before. LLD picked themselves up 2 kills. MP starting to lose some numbers here. Big double support fire there, though. Will clean out Zed and Doza as Mirage goes down. And we need to do our UI full screen again, apparently. There we go. That makes life a lot easier to watch. As Mirage and Mata will make their way back into the house, past the flag, and we'll see MP reset up. As there's an ally player right there. It's Canhank, and he is self-killed right as the action was about to begin, but at least got a look in. We'll stick on board with Toxic. I'm trying to make sure that this is the Toxic from Malta. We talked about Chelsea, but that isn't a guarantee, because I just can't believe that Toxic actually has a good ping. And I guess there are probably a lot of other Toxics who play video games. Pansy flaunting her signed copy of RTCW and ET from them. Oh, Bernard double Panzer gets Mirage and Akosi. Now Toxic with his time to shine. Gibbs and dead ally body. Gonna get chased down by 2 players coming down the left-hand side, 3 players coming down. Canhank's ACP finishes him off, and Mata is possibly the only Axis left standing before them in the courtyard flag, and he will go down. LLD have taken this and will now move on. As Bernard tried to push out into the graveyard, there's no one there. No one there for the Allied side. Chris is sat on top watching on top of the crypt, and you will now get swarmed by 2 support fires and an allied player, and they've got a little bit of a speed advantage here. Bernard's Panzer gets rid of a Cozy, Jam goes down as well, but 2 MP40 frags from Mirage help the numbers for NP, but Dynamite planted quickly, and this is an opportunity here for LLD, as everyone respawns. Let's get over that Dynamite if I possibly could. God, spectator mode is hard in this game. But looks like they're going to get over to that Dynamite with an engineer. But Chris was the man. He's going to go down and kind of just threw himself at it. Only have one thing on his mind. That was to get there. You hear a whine of a Panzer from Toxic that gets Bernard, his opposite number. And then on top of this Dynamite they go. But there will be a Dynamite kill as Toxic gets picked off around there as well. Mirage will make his way down the hole. And this allied side have done a lot more than I think they would have thought they would have done in the opening 3 minutes. Zed picked off. Remember, MP definitely the favorites for this one. Toxic drops himself down into the cellars. BRND is Brandon, not Bernard. There you go. Axis side have reclaimed that northwest flag, and that'll allow them to reclaim some territory. Hear the whine of the Panzer, and MP have pushed themselves up nicely in here, and grenade from Toxic gets one. Brandon's Panzer helps himself to the only frag for LLD as they've made their way in here. And Toxic's job is on to Gibbing. And I feel like some commentators cursed there that LLD side, prior to losing that flag, were really in a great position. Board with 5 points of health, Brandon, who is stuck at Allied spawn. And you get caught in this moment now on Village of, well, we've got the crypt open, we lost the flag, do we go short? But if you go short and you can't then pivot over towards the flag or the documents, then you've wasted 30-40 seconds in going there. And it's a catch-22. Damned if you do, damned if you don't for the Allies at the moment. Where was that hole that they found originally? I think a lot of it had to do with spawn. I think they had a lot of favorable spawn times as they made that crypt assault. Chris picks up the MP40 frag. There are 4 allies ready to push in, and Dozer shows his head and has it chopped off by someone. Brandon's Panzer gets himself the frag of Mirage. Toxic is picked off by Cliff Dark, and Dozer's on watching the rear duty. Canhank is going to lead that charge into the reloading Axis medic, who was a Cozy, who's going nowhere. LLD will push one through short as well. Chris is the man that's flanking. You just saw us scrolling through there. He's flanking behind them as they go on in. And now Cozy is going to get picked off, and it'll be Jam to try and hold this flag. He's got one down. Can he get any more? No. And where is Chris? Chris was the one that was in a potentially menacing position. 3:30 left on the clock. He's down. In fact, Chris is self-killed back with the other Axis players coming through spawn, who are being picked off by Zed and his MP40 right now. And MP have a problem. 4 players stuck before the main gates. Allies should get that objective. They do. Can they get out? Why is he got the front way? And the Panzer from Toxic picks off Cliff Dark, who will then have to retreat. But they held them back. Allies have another body going for this, who's going to run this away. Oh, he's still shooting, giving it all he's got, but in the end, it's Canhank, and he gets Jam up his backside, and the objective is secured. Matt has dropped down into the cellars, and we'll see LLD go through. Panzer from Toxic dispatches of Stahl. Brandon is in that Axis spawn. Don't think he wanted to drop down there. Axis of respawn right now. Brandon knows what's coming for him as he charges away. He's going to have someone shooting at him from through the window. But as long as he's keeping them occupied, I guess that's all that matters. And it's Chris that he's keeping occupied. And that double support fire does a great job as well. In fact, this Cliff Dark grenade at the same time as something else. As the Allies have a lot of Axis numbers down here and have picked up the objective. A Cozy is Oxy from ET, if you were wondering, as I've been butchering his name. So we'll go back to Oxy. And LLD have this document and are making their way now, or the gold, and are going to make their way out of here as Chris is the man who's going to try and sneak behind the incoming document carriers. Not sure this is the position he wants to be in, but he's there. No one's seen him. Someone's just run past and hasn't seen him. And this is Chris's big moment here, as he will make his way through onto Cliff Dark and grabs it and secures it. Oh, they're going to be mad at each other now. Oxy's going to be pushing out with Toxic to go through. Brandon's single grenade gets one. Jam is out, and the Axis team reset. And we'll find the LLD side kind of sprawl all over the place.
Objective taken.
And they will collect that gold away with Can Hank, but I expect someone to be chasing him. Nope. No one chasing behind. Dozer is there at the flag as well. And now we'll stay with Can Hank as he makes his way through. They won't make that mistake twice. Check every corner. They've got 60 seconds. They can set a time, but it's going to go right down to the wire here for LLD. 3 medics escort this gold past the MG. Can Hank watching his rear. Waiting for the all clear. Gets it. Moves on to the next area. Where is Chris? Toxic double panzer. There's no support left for Can Hank. He cowers away in the corner as LLD now have trouble. And now here come the incoming MP players from the rear. It's Jam who gets him. Matter is going to follow up onto Brandon. And that will be that with the gold returned. There is no way they can get through. In just 21 seconds, they have the gold again. They're going to go through Axis spawn. I forget how short the short run is, but I don't think it can be done in 12 seconds now. And I don't think you're allowed to pass it through the fence as you maybe once were. And he's not going to be able to get there anyway, because there is an Axis man trying to stop him in the shape of Matter. Does get both kills, but the Axis will hold for a full hold. And we will see MP set up. I think LLD will take some comfort from that. They created holes. They created an opportunity for themselves there, and there's definitely, a chance to, and they'll felt like they should have set a time for sure, given had it not been for Chris's sneakiness. So they'll feel there's a moment here. Let's see.
Prepare to fight.
We're on map 1 of semi-final 2. The finals are tomorrow, so do come back tomorrow to complete your weekend of RTCW action. We're underway with LLD needing a full hold now. We're on board with Brandon and his tactical nuke, as he will set up with his teammates. Allies are already there. Brandon misses that shot. There was no one to shoot at, but he fired it anyway. Let's see whether he can do anything with his grenades. Yes, he can. Toxic in the face. They need to now give. There are 3 medics going down the other side of the house, and he can take out 2 of them with his grenade. Follow up. Oh, you wanted him to knife, really. But it doesn't matter. Jam is down, and that's all that matters. And now Brandon will be able to push out. And this is what you want from LLD. They need to... Oh, there's someone pushing forward, and it's Putty who is waiting for him. But no harm done. He'll in fact respawn in just a few minutes. A few seconds. And LLD wait with Zed about to rain in. A Sportfire tries to disguise a few of the smoke. Now pushes out with his grenade and then takes down 1. It was Oxy he picked off. He had a longish spawn, did Zed, but if he's covering short, then he's fine. Now pushed out to this forward courtyard. It's a lot of guns trained on a very small doorway. Star with the MP40 on Toxic and a Cozy. Or Oxy. And this is going to be difficult for MP to break down. Now they're all pushed forward, and now Brandon's landing double hits with that Panzer. There's nothing they can do. The Allies, though, have captured the northwest courtyard. Someone must have come through spawn, and the LLD side is stuck. They've got sandwiched here. They've got 4 players that are going to go through the other side, and a lot of NP players coming from behind to mop up. And this is going to be a long spawn for LLD. All out of position. Dynamite gets planted on the crypt, and MP have played the pincer perfectly. And now we're going to move their attention onto the Axis spawn. They're going to get that gold away, and LLD have already said, you know what, you can take the gold, you can take the flag, and we will set up for a last gasp defense. And they know it. MP knew and were expecting it. Chris was there waiting for him, but has been picked off, and Chris often has played that Lone Ranger role, so there wasn't anyone else there for LLD to have to fight. Oh, Oxy has the gold. There was someone coming through spawn. As we'll see Oxy now make his way with plenty of help and plenty of time. Check every corner. Check every nook. Every cranny. Oxy going from courtyard to courtyard. Brandon double panzer onto Jam and Mirage and himself. And a lot of LLD frags raining up into the console means that Oxy will just sit and wait somewhere behind that wall, looking for LLD players to come through. One of them is Dozer. And Oxy is just waiting. If you're an Axis player now, you're probably tempted to send someone to sneak try and grab that flag and break them up. Brandon's one man picks off Mirage. And Oxy does have eyes trained behind him, and he probably knows that someone's missing somewhere. Ally players getting dropped left, right, and center as they try to clear a path for Oxy, and he's going nowhere. And the problem for them is that this leaves them a man down if Oxy's gun is not in the fight. Can Hank gets one, loses one. Stahl just feeding himself grenades. Oh, had an opportunity there now, waits on the gun to come out, it doesn't. They've taken a little bit of space here now as they move through. Here come the document, or the gold in the shape of Oxy, as he makes his way out to this next courtyard. There is an Axis. No, there isn't. He's been picked off. Oxy has an opportunity to run here. He will do exactly that. There's a big grenade tossed out from Zed. You thought it was going to land. It didn't. Where is he gone? Where is young Oxy? As he begins to get the call from Chris that he can go. I don't see him anywhere, though. As I'm loath to push forward. Frags coming in now from MP. They've got 4 unanswered frags, and they will move in, and they will move those documents, gold thing, home. See lots of allies. See no Oxy. There he is. And he will complete the job in what eventually has been about a 5-minute time. It's 5 minutes and 9 seconds as he finishes off the job for MP. So ask Comey who picked which map. Yeah, in the chat, Diggy asking why aren't you allowed to pass through the fence? I think that got outlawed that you can pass through the fence. I looked to Homie. Can you pass through the fence? I don't think you can. It's been a long time. Gonna get this underway. MP lead by a map to the good, or by a round to the good. And we'll now have to set the time. That slower grenade will certainly have allowed the LLD side to get into position. Last time they weren't even in position when the MP team made their way into that house. Let's try and get on board with Brandon if we can. He and that Panzer will be waiting to greet the Allies as they come on in. And Chris and Jam are on the other end of it. Now Brandon tosses out the grenade. Stahl has helped himself to one. You see grenade after grenade raining down on them, and LLD will gladly absorb this first wave. This is the problem that befell the MP side, sorry, the LLD defense last time. Someone snuck through and got the flag from behind. Mata was trying to do exactly that, took down himself and an opponent last time out, and it will be LLD who reset one more time. We're on board with Cliff Dark. They've pushed out into the courtyard, and they looked absolutely resolute in their courtyard defense last time. LLD. If it wasn't for someone who went through spawn and got the flag, you wonder whether they would have been breached. But once that happened, it was an uphill struggle. Cliff Dog, double grenade, Toxic Mirage both go down. Stahl follows up onto Oxy as well. Cliff Dog in trouble with no ammo and limited friends as people begin to die, but Brandon's double Panzer does arguably the more important job of giving a bunch of bodies as well as killing two. And reset for LLD, who do have a lieutenant there to drop ammo and reload this side. Again, this is hard. This, you know, if someone pushes out into the courtyard, like, there's not much you can really do. It's such a small bottleneck. Zed is expecting people to come his way. He can hear them in the water. And then he FFE'd on himself, albeit with a 2-second spawn. LLD have fallen back. They know what's coming through spawn. They've got Stahl pushed out to say if anyone comes back the other way, and they have eyes everywhere right now. Can they stop this attack? Coming through spawn, there are 3 MP players. And on the other side, in the crypt area, there are at least 2, maybe 3 Axis players. 2 of the allied side just chopped down by Brandon and his Panzer. Canhank helps with the MP40. And this is evolution from LLD. This is what you want to see as they've moved through. LLD reset. Self-kill. Jam is the one that I don't think they know where he is. They'll expect to see Toxic the Panzer somewhere in their spawn. He is reloading. Brandon takes up the kill onto Chris. What has Toxic got? Panzer to Panzer. Pistol to pistol. And Toxic down to 48 points of health. He does have a full charge to do some damage here! And he'll take himself the frag onto Canhank as he goes down. MP are starting to make their way towards this flag now with 6:20 left on the clock. Can anyone stop them? There is one more Axis left, and it's Cliff Dog, and Cliff Dog will say, yeah, I can stop you. He gets himself 2. Now we see MP being asked some tough questions. Zed drops down. That's Toxic again, and you just want to get away from him at that moment in time. And Zed does exactly that. I think it was Toxic that was there. He's missing now, and Zed just counts 2 players out from the allied spawn, knows how many are left to play with. Dozer is taking on one ally who's Jam, who is up at the flag area. We'll follow up with the Gib, and it's working for LLD. They're not quite as controlled in this area right here, but their fluid defense is holding. Oh, that grenade is going to give his teammate. Is it? No! Cliff Dog back up, and Dozer will come through, and there's not enough allies. You know, as much as LLD are being pulled in many directions, so are the MP side, and they're unable to really push through as 6 in any one direction now and make a hole. I think there's an ally here. Yes, there is. Dozer is the man who will find him, revive his teammate. More allies coming. Maybe this is the time for MP to get that flag. Oxy get picked off. Only 11 bullets left for Dozer here now as he waits to see. He's got one teammate to his right, and he's got incoming allied forces. Jam is in the wrong place at the wrong time. Dozer now has no more bullets left, but he's got a bunch of syringes, and he's got his trusty Luger. Panzer from Toxic dispatches of him, but they still can't get this flag. Canhank coming, and the revived body is going to act as the perfect shield for him. Will the allies be able to get that flag? There are 3 players still there, but they're going down one by one. Chris gets the flag. The respawn is going to happen in 3 seconds, and MP will take us on to this next stage. 4.5 minutes for them to try and get to this crypt, and they will go through. This is MP's map, by the way, as we go in. Brandon waiting to see some heads pop up on the top of that fence. Oh, sorry, top of that ladder. He fires off onto one. It's Matter that he gets dropped. Now he'll nade over to try and gib or finish off some bodies. Spam down into the cellars as he leaves the lieutenant with the opportunity to chase out because he dropped a grenade at the foot of the stairs. Allied support fire rains on down into the crypt area, and we'll now see a Cozy pushing in. A Cozy, or Oxy, is going to revive the engineer who is there, and it's Mirage who gets a kill revive. There is an Axis engineer trying to make his way over to the crypt, but the support fire from Matt takes out a teammate and 3 players from that LLD side, which will see that crypt blow, and will now give MP an opportunity to push up and try to collect those objectives. It is Jam who will do exactly that. Has it unopposed, no Axis around there. He's got 250 to run these through. Kind of surprised not to see any Axis players there, but we're on board with Toxic, who will be the forward scout for MP. And into this next courtyard, you'll see grenade in the face of Toxic, and they need to quickly give him off before he can get revived. Brandon's Panzer does exactly that, and LLD have set up a pretty strong defense in this south courtyard. As let's find Jam. He's sat chilling. Got some reinforcements coming. Guy. Toxic will try again to create an opening for Jam. Nade after nade by second after second, and that's all LLD have to do. They've got 2 minutes to wait out here. Toxic's Panzer does take down Dozer. He self-kills and goes again, and Zev will keep all eyes on that gateway. Support fire comes in, we'll trade a Panzer for a Panzer, and I think that's probably job done there. They've picked off a lot of players, and we should see those documents move forward with Oxy now. Chris is helping himself to some kills on the other side. Jam waiting. I don't see a lot of Axis bodies here, and they're going around. They're waiting and checking every corner. Lesson learned from the last one. Oxy's going to move these ones. There is some fire, but it's not going to be anything to worry about. And home go the documents from Jam, and the time will be set at about 8 minutes and 8:38. The time will be set at, and not too impressive. All right, someone in chat has to get me up to date on H2O and someone who will be banned, because I think I missed that. This can't be like the old H2O. H2O, like Oxygen, or whatever his name was. Anyway, someone please catch me up on that. Right, we have ourselves a game on here. MP on their own map look a little shaky. I'm still very impressed that we've got 130 people who have stuck around for almost 3 hours for a 19-year-old game. Very glad to see so many people here. What is dead may never die, some may say. I think someone did say that in chat. That's where that came from in my mind. Favorite RTCW moments is a question I have for chat. Specifically RTCW, not E3. What is your favorite moment from that community, from any tournaments you watched? There must be a lot of interesting memories that people have. Trying to think of what mine was.
Affirmative.
I think we won, we got to the top of the clan base ladder. That was great life for us. Oh, never mind. We'll come back to that later. Here we go. We're going to get ourselves underway. LLD giving themselves a real fighting chance in semifinal number 2. The winner of this faces LLC, who stomped KIH on the other half of the bracket. So let's see who is going to make their way to their very first QuakeCon final. LLD look a little slow getting out, but they will get there. Axis grenades are waiting for them. We lose 2 LLD players pretty quickly. One is revived. In goes Brandon with the pans up. But Toxic's grenade is waiting for him. And they go on. MP looking strong in this first stage hold. Brandon is going to have to open up a Panzer shot to clean out the setup here. Otherwise, MP could be quite gladly sticking around for a while. Let's see where he is. The LLD side look like they might be thinking about going short. No, they're not going to do that. Yes, they are going to do that. 2 players going short, including one of them an engineer. Canhank is going to escort Stahl there. There is a Axis lieutenant. And that Allied engineer has been dispatched if it was Stahl, and Chris's artillery did the damage. Canhank waiting with his grenades to push out self-kill, get nothing done, and there's been no breach. And as I mentioned earlier on, that dilemma of how much you push short to try and pull the Axis away, it's a tough one. MP seem very, very happy to just sit and wait. And this has been a disappointing start from LLD. They're going to go short once again. How many? Zed is coming. It's at my front door if you just heard that. Groceries being delivered. And now Canhank will make his way through. Brandon does open up the defense with that double panzer, and that's what LLD needed. They needed someone who was a can opener, and it was Brandon. But Zed's triple Thompson frag, 2 of them from behind, will help out that LLD side, and they will claim that flag, and they will look at this with 6 minutes to go on the crypt as a real opportunity to take a map that take a round that they may not have been expecting. And Chris is the only Axis up at the crypt there. You just saw an Allied medic dancing around on the other side. And Brandon on spawn gets himself a kill. 3 Allied players are going to respawn. And Toxic with the Luger gets himself a kill on the Stahl elsewhere. But there's an opportunity for them here. As MP reset, get themselves back into the courtyard. And lie in wait. It may be Jam's job to get up the rear and try and get that flag back. He did that last time around. In fact, he killed himself, so that's not him. Brandon gets the Panzer, and since claiming that flag, they've not been able to get out of the cellars, not been able to get over to the crypt. We'll stay on board with Cliffdark to see what he can do about that, as he runs pliers first. Never run with scissors. It's a lesson we must all learn, some of us the hard way. Toxic double Panzer. Canhank and Zed both go down. LLD unable to get out. But a grenade to the face from Cliffdark helps onto Mirage. He's going to try for another. There is a second player there, but in the end it wasn't to be for him, and the grenade will rest on his rotting Allied corpse. And Chris's grenade gets himself another one. Does Chris chase Cliffdark in his 62 points of health? No. Support fire comes in from the Axis side. Only takes down a teammate. And they go through. Panzer dropped in from Brandon. And Oxley will go through, and for LLD, who I feel like I've been singing their praises on Village here, they cannot get out of this cellar stage. 4 minutes to play. Mirage pushing in. Panzer winds on the other side. I think that's from Toxic. Canhank and Stahl help themselves up to a bunch of frags, and now they've got themselves out of the stairwell. Now they've got themselves up here, but Mirage has only 2 points of health and a whole boat of ammo to try and unload here, but he will focus on the gibbing as his reinforcements come. Cliffdark and Zed help themselves to some kills, and do they have an opening now? No. Zed is focused on spawn, doesn't know where Mirage is. Mirage does self-kill. That means there's, I think, no one left over by the crypt. Can Zed and his support fire do any damage? As the Ally Axis players make their way towards him. No, Zed shot his load too early. And they're held back. Allies with no one by the crypt. I think I missed a trick here. I don't understand how they're so far behind. They run away from that support fire that Mirage tosses. Now the engineer will go out. There are allies trying to make their way over and hold a higher ground in the cemetery. They get there. Dynamite planted now. And there are 3 players to defend it. When that blows, if that blows, it'll give them about 2 minutes and 10 seconds to run that gold away. Support fire frags traded by Stahl and Mirage. Two Axis players make their way in. One of them is Jam. So he goes in. Either of them are engineers, though, and that dynamite will blow safely. Axis have reclaimed the flag, importantly. Brandon gets Mirage out for full spawn. Objective's been picked up, but is going nowhere fast. And the Axis side have resecured the crypt and the cemetery. There's an allied player somewhere in the Axis spawn. There he is. He will get picked off surely. It was Canhank who get dropped. Manta takes down his teammate. And a minute 50 on the clock. LLD in trouble. They'll have felt this was a real opportunity. They'll have felt there was a point to be had here. And now they've got just 97 seconds in which to claim it. Allied support fire tossed out into the cemetery. Toxic wipes himself and Stahl down. Oxy is waiting atop the ladder. And this is where everything went wrong for them. They just couldn't break out of the cellars onto the crypt. And if they don't get it, I think it's like a 40-second dock run. If they don't get it in the next 30, NP will take this. Gunfire elsewhere as Stahl gets himself the frag onto 1. And a second for Stahl. And this might be the last roll of the dice as they make their way out into the crypt. No, there's no one there. Gleaning allied bodies wait. Revive goes in onto 1. 40 seconds is on the clock. The objective has been picked up. It's Dozer who's going to have to run these home, and he is going to have to run those allied legs of his a long, long way. Let's find him as we scan through every single bloody player. Here we go, on board with Dozer. The chain of ammo and med packs lead the way for them as the Axis side have set up and will be waiting. 20 seconds on the clock. How fast do those legs run? Dozer goes charging on out. Oh, but he's losing bodies. He's losing teammates fast. LLD have a couple players left alive, but they don't have anyone between Dozer and the incoming Axis army. And that will be that. Objective secured and map 1 secured for MP. As we see LLD just not able to get over the hill. We go on to map 2. I will take this moment to gulp some water. It will be Frostbite next, which is LLD's map choice. But on Frostbite, you never know what you're going to get. So we'll see what comes next. We'll be right back. Alright, we're back. We're on to map number 2. Number 6 of the day. As LLD on their map choice know that they've got to pick up a win straight away. They will start on the Allied side, and they need a time. They need something they can play with. They need to strike some fear into the hearts of these pesky MP players.
Prepare to fight.
Let's see what they've got. We're underway, and we're about to find out whether LLD have anything left in this fight. We'll start with Dozer, who had the document run at the end of that last game. He will look to support fire on the other side and messes it up. Dynamite does go down straight away from the LLD side, though, and that's really all you can ask for. Support fire out from Matter.
Affirmative, on the way.
Side ready to make their move. Cliff Dark helps himself to the hat of somebody else. His soldier can't go anywhere, and that's one, maybe two players out for a full spawn for the LLD side. And LLD lose another to that Panzer, and they've run out of bodies. Panzer rocketed in from the opposite number, tries to catch someone out on full spawn, doesn't do that. Mirage's support fire helps himself to Stalin. We are just running out of LLD people at the moment, as they are dropping like flies. As this Axis defense just clicks for that spawn cycle. And they push out, they respawn, Oxy gets that time, and they will wait, and the double Panzer from Toxic helps himself to Stahl and Zed, and well, this is painful to watch for LLD. MP have got absolutely everything clicking. Coming from behind will be Mirage now. He wasn't able to pick up the kill, but it doesn't matter. He's got another one that he'll help himself to in the shape of Cliff Dark. And the Axis side push out. The self-kill in just a moment. And, oh, I'm kind of amazed that didn't hit anyone. And LLD now will begin to make the run. Double support fire tossed out by the Axis side. And Brandon's Panzerfaust wipes out two teammates. Does get Chris, but the price is high. Hank now makes his way through and is about to lead the charge in with his Thompson. Has reinforcements, and they will begin to make their way through. Jam sits on that flag like a mother goose cowering over his egg. And the goose has left his egg. As Cliff Dark drops one with his Panzer. Trades out. Brandon gets himself a Panzer of his own. Sorry, Cliff Dark was on the other end of a Panzer. Now Mirage is a long way from home with an 8-second spawn, and he's just going to try and come behind these LLD players who really are not making a dent. Canhank will revive his buddy, but he's going to push on up. This revive chain will get them close to the flag. Coming in is going to be Canhank. Can he get one-on-one with man behind the exceptionally large desk as they go through? And now Canhank can't get to the flag either, and there's no one there. And the allies have all spawned up at the back, and they're all wedged in. Toxic fires his Panzer down in and claims the life of two. And you will see NP breathing a little easy right now. Village was a lot closer than this was, and MP will think that if they can, it will have started to dream of a full hold, and if they get that, that's all she wrote. Cliff Dark does claim the flag. Reports of LLD's demise have been greatly exaggerated as the dynamite also goes down on the service door. Axis so have claimed that upper complex back. Is there? I don't think they probably. I doubt there was an Axis engineer up. there wasn't, so that dynamite will do just fine. In fact, that dynamite was not planted in the service door. It was planted around the back. Just to open up another opportunity for them. Or another opening for them. We'll stick with Toxic, who's waiting to see if people do come up the storage wall route. Nope, nothing for young Toxic there. And for MP, this is going to make their route to try and sandwich LLD a little bit easier. Let's see what they've got. Let's see what they've got left in the locker now. Dozer will go through, and Clipdock and Dozer make their way in through the bottom, trying to get themselves up to the flag. The two of them somehow still alive. Prime grenade tosses out onto another. Dozer's got 6 seconds to get up towards that flag, and is not going to get there. This would be a crying shame for an end for LLD, as they seem to be getting picked off left, right, and center. LLD have come all the way through Axis spawn though. They've got 5 players up here. They will get they should get someone on the flag. They tried to get Brandon in position with that Panzer. They need to get him back up for the incoming Axis spawn, but 4 players make their way up towards the objectives. There's 1 allied player there. He's dealt with 1. He's not going to get any more. There's the Panzer from Brandon, and here's the opportunity for LLD as they have Dozer on docks, and they have at least 1 player supporting him who's left alive. I think there might be a second. No, it looks like he is all alone, and there's an Axis medic there, ungibbed, telling them exactly where he is. As Dozer and his 7 bullets make that 5 bullets now. Make the jump. Can he get through? He can get through. My little spectator mode can't keep up, but he's going to keep going. Go, Dozer, go, as he runs through. And the LLD side keep fighting here. Mirage is going to be the first one down towards the radio here. No sign of allied players. Picked off in the back. Brandon gets himself a Panzer. Dozer's taken down to 24 points of health as he is hiding behind spawn. 9 seconds to the allied spawn. Dozer is praying that he can get more med packs out as quickly as he can. Reinforcements coming in 3, 2, 1. Dozer doesn't self-kill and will hold on. Somehow he's still got 5 bullets left. His allied teammates now need to secure this radio room. Crisscross of allied and Axis support fires go through. No one affected. 3 Axis players up by that storage wall. Someone's got to be inside though. As we take a quick look, it's Toxic. And Toxic is waiting, Panzer and all, to try and sandwich out Dozer, who's going to begin to make his run. Let's see what Toxic's got. He's got reinforcements in the shape of a lieutenant up there as well. Brandon's double Panzer cleans that 1. Dozer and that big green dot above his head remain above the Axis spawn. They don't know that Toxic's there. They do now because his double Panzer helps himself to the lives of 2. And the allies have cleared the top. Dozer is probably sensing his moment now. Reinforcements coming from Axis spawn. Dozer's waiting. There are... Well, we can see 3 allies alive. We can see 3 Axis alive. But someone else is keeping Dozer occupied as well. Dozer now looking exposed. We're running out of allies at this moment in time. And Dozer is between a rock and a hard place. I don't see any more buddies of his alive. Someone just ran out of spawn, so there is something there, and in fact there are 3 players up now, 4 players up. Let's do the scan. Oxy is going to be one of the people dug in here. He and Mirage are the ones alive in the radio room. As Toxic is out of position to try and strike that Panzer down. Someone from the allied side has made it up to the top. Dozer is still waiting for the all clear, which has not been given there. You see Matter on the rooftop reclaiming that position. Matter has been, I think, picked off though, and 5 allied players go. 95 seconds left on the clock. They're going to have to start running it. They're going to start running it right now. Dozer's going to come in through the main door. Reinforcements are here for him. There's a Panzerfaust in from Toxic. Dozer's down. Document's going to be picked up though by somebody else, and they're going to run them in. Big Panzerfaust from Brandon clears the room. 3 Axis players are in. Document's going nowhere. And MP helped themselves, and they probably couldn't believe their luck that the allies ran on top of 3 of them. In the end, I think from LLD, they thought they had to do it at some point, but it just wasn't the right time. And they, in the end, went too early. And now have no flag, no documents, and no friends. 50 seconds left to go. This looks like the end. MP have Chris sat on top of the documents. Incoming allied players just the one. And a combination of Panzer and, well, just the Panzer, dispatches of them. And the Schnell call is out. And the game looks to be won. As MP will take this with a full hold on Frostbite. Things you don't hear a lot of. That will be that. Matter rules the roost with 25 kills, almost 5k damage. From LLD, it will be a question of what was. The well played called out. I think we'll finish up at least this map.
Prepare to
See how we go. Tomorrow, let's find out what time the final is from Hobie. What time is the fight tomorrow? Tomorrow will be a final between NP and Last Chance. Or Last Chance. You have to feel, having seen Last Chance in action today, they look like the stronger of the two teams, but who knows? We start bright and early tomorrow. So 6 p.m. CET start, which for those, as we try to translate that into real times, are 5 p.m. London time and 9 a.m. here in San Francisco. Bright and early start. I will try not to be hungover. NP pushing through. They've got players coming through spawn as coming through the access spawn, trying to make their way over towards the documents. LLD will face KIH in the bronze matchup. LLD are pushed back with 4 players on top of these documents. There's not much left for them here that they're holding on for pride. Allies with 2 players making their way up the Axis spawn side, getting close to those documents. 1 more player is there as he wipes himself out with a grenade and his opposing number. LLD will stock back up on medics on top of the documents and wait for this next push. Someone's going to try and make a daring run for the flag, which Chris will have to get in the way of. And he does. On board with Cliffdark, who on Village looked pretty strong. And winds in from Toxic, helps himself to the life of Zed, bumps Cliffdark forward, and allied players seem to be coming up the Axis spawn route now. We'll see Cliffdark coming into action, gets himself the frag onto Chris. There's the Panther down there as well. 2 medics keeping this relay chain alive, and Cliffdark just walking on heads as he goes through. That's a big chain of revives going in, led by Chris's MP40, as the Axis will take those documents, and they'll move the Panther. Oh, no, he won't get there in time! And away will go those documents down through the service door. MP will move players all over the swarm here as they go through the Axis spawn and have got no one here. Toxic is medded up, and this is his moment. He can basically claim the game for MP here. The support fire, well, the game's already won. The support fire will group up those Axis players, and Toxic will help himself to them as he and his Panther go through, and the time is beaten. Matter will take care of it. And that will be that. We're going to call this one here from a casting perspective at 3-0. That will be that. And we are... Oh, we are all done. I don't know what is actually streaming now that I've put that there. You just get a black screen. I didn't necessarily need to disconnect. But thank you for joining us today. This has been a great trip down memory lane, and hopefully look forward to seeing you tomorrow morning for the bronze match at 6 p.m. European time, and the finals at 7 p.m. European time. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.